Recording. Beautiful. Another week. I'm sorry to everyone that last week we did not get a
Too
podcast
much
together.
going on.
Too much going on. Yeah, I mean, our whole weekend was taken up by freaking Dan,
Yeah, that was a fun time
Carly.
though,
Oh my God, I had too
of
much fun.
what I remembered.
Yeah. Yeah. Between just all of the drinking and the fun, it was a perfect day. I hope that they think the
They
same.
lucked
I
out,
had so much fun. Holy crap, did they ever?
right?
Yeah. You
I'm ready
just
to have
pulled
some
out
fun.
the old elk, you said, right?
Elk River, yeah.
I am
Or
going
old
with
elk, I should say. Sorry, old elk. I was thinking about the city when I drink it.
I'm gonna go with a little everyone needs a little dick in them, little dickle.
I know. We talked about earlier this year about doing this live together,
Mm.
smoking stogies, sipping some whiskey. But
I don't know that that should not still happen. I think since I'm not going to make the playoffs, I think maybe I can have the losers. Uh, I'll come down to Rochester and we'll do a live one in the postseason.
perfect.
Yeah.
By the
Uh,
way, going back to Dan's wedding, and we can stop up talking about it, but we can keep bringing it up. It was a great time.
it was a great time.
Your flower suit was money.
Thank you.
Like,
I can't take all the credit for it because even though I would like to, the idea was Dan's. He picked out the suit. I just was the very large, beautiful model that got to wear
yeah, well, you killed it. And then
it.
you had some killer moves going down that aisle too.
Oh man, I there is already like video evidence that has come out of that, and I I was
AKA Molly's
feeling it.
Instagram.
Yeah, yeah, I was feeling it at the moment, and it turned out to be really good. I was not nervous. The only thing that I was nervous about was running out of flowers, and I ended up having a surplus. So it was good.
No, that's
Good.
perfect.
True honor to be a part of that day, as I bet you feel the same.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Knowing Dan my whole life. Yeah, it's been cheers to Dan one last time, huh?
Here's to Dan. Yeah. Death of the
Hopefully he
Bachelor.
saves this podcast for like when he's on his plane over to Egypt or something. Oh, I'm
Was
gonna
there?
save
Is
them
that where
all.
they're going?
Yeah, Dan, if you're watching, stop. Go back. Save him for the plane.
That's perfect. We kind of have 2 weeks to go over, and I don't think that we should spend too much time on last week.
Yeah,
Other than I will just say it was bipocalypse. Like it's not going to be nearly as bad as next week. This week there's a little bit of reprieve, except for myself because I have too many people from the Chargers, but I think it's just the Chargers and the Bills this week. Last week was a bunch, and this upcoming week I think there's 8 teams on by or 6 teams on by. It's gonna be a
really.
lot. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot. But
I think the
uh,
Bills are playing this week, right? Right?
are they? It's Chargers and another large. Is it Chargers Eagles?
I don't know. All I've been thinking about is poor Rob, man. Started
Hmm.
hot. But no, that was last week. We were talking on the podcast about all the 4-2 teams because there was what 3 matchups with them,
Yeah.
and they really did disappoint. To be honest, I mean, we could just
No,
talk about that,
please,
I guess. I mean,
please.
like,
The floor is yours. I know that you've been
no,
preparing.
no, I was I was just like gonna be fun to rank all the 4-2 teams, and then at the end of the year, it would have been kind of cool to see who was available.
Who
But
was
I
still
mean,
there?
the games really kind of were disappointing. I guess I thought they were gonna be closer. Like Rob's team just fell off a cliff here the last couple of weeks. I played him a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then I played Josh. I'm like, oh, back to back, like really good playoff contention teams. This is a real test.
Mm-hmm.
And my
No.
boy Kenny Walker. So I busted out my Marshawn for
should
him.
I should have worn my march on. Oh, we
Yeah.
could have
I was like, I
been
had to
we could have had
find
a
us from the
march on
closet.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. Oh man. Yeah. I know that Like I
Shit.
was very disappointed in my game last week. It turns out that if I would have started anyone, anyone in my flex or in my wide receiver one other than Allen, I would have won. But that is
The
not
fire
what
sale
happened.
still going on for him or what?
What was that?
Is the fire sale still going on?
Dude, no one sent me a trade. Not one person. Not
Is he-
one person. And I don't blame them. He's probably going to hit the waiver wire. But I mean, he won't. But
Yeah.
I am so disappointed with him that it like it is palpable in my day-to-day life how much I right now hate. And I only bring it up because he is also the reason why I got third like 2 years ago, or maybe even second 2 years ago. He came out and said, "Hey, I'm not hurt anymore. Start me," and I did, and he did exactly what he did to me this game, where he caught two passes for like 11 yards and just said, "I don't feel very good."
Yeah, he broke Luke's heart a couple years too that he's
Yeah,
had.
yeah. And then when like he is so good when he's on the field, and so I couldn't not start him. And if I would have just trusted my gut, yeah, ugh,
That's fantasy, baby. That's
that's
why you gotta
fantasy.
love to hate it. It's like golf.
Yeah, yeah.
You can
Which
hate it, and then you get the birdie, and you're like, "Oh my god, this is awesome! I love this game." And then the next hole, you triple bogey, and you go, "Why the hell did I get my hopes up?"
yeah, it's those
And that's like
little
Josh Frederick right now. I mean, he's probably riding high. He got his only win.
absolutely. And I mean, at 100 points, he deserved to win because just like you were saying, this last week didn't disappoint. I think for a few teams it did. Like you have Luke's team, you have Chris, which was a huge disappointment. You have or not Josh's team, sorry, Rob's team, just like you were talking about, and John's team. All of those teams were sub 100 points.
Yeah.
Sub 100 points. And I mean, you're talking about Dale's first win at 100 points. You're talking about, even like Dan scored 107 points, which on a normal week would have been maybe tied for like the lowest, and he was probably sixth on the week. Like just rough all around. I do have to say I have, and I wanted to congratulate Chris Strife because he gets to play me this week,
Oh yeah.
and it has been almost. I looked back at this. Almost every single person that's played me has had their best week when they play me.
That's
I
true.
have I have more points scored against me than anyone has points scored for them. Think about that,
I was just kind of looking at that overall because I was like, Dale plays a lot of good teams, but really,
right?
Bogart, you play all the good teams,
No,
but your team doesn't score either.
here's the thing is I've played a lot of teams that have done very good on that week. And then I was looking back and I was just like, most of these teams I would have beat the week before or the week after that I played them. I have not scored very many points. I am in the bottom quarter of points scored, but
It happens.
I think that I should have 3 wins. I have one, which relegates me to the bottom of the barrel with Dale right now. We are both 1-6, just like you were saying. For the 4 and 2s, we have
Scudamore is hanging on there too. I mean, if you
hanging
look
on.
at Scuddy's, he's he's I mean, he's a good 4-2. Don't get me
Mm-hmm.
wrong. It's always
Mm-hmm.
tough to beat, two-time champ. He's always gonna come by, but I don't
Yeah.
know. I can't wait to play him.
He won last week as a 4-2, playing a 4-2, right?
Yeah.
Uh, and so that was the same with Dan and uh, uh, Rob. and with you and um Josh Crawley. So like all of you guys were 4-2 last week. Now this week, looking at it, we're going to get. Sorry, I had it up and then I must have just closed it out. This week it's going to be like, who are you most excited to watch this week?
this week.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, to be honest, I was kind of thinking about this, and it was there's two matchups really. The first one
Perfect.
is Rizzo and John.
Mm-hmm.
So John talking a lot of shit, early on in the season, and his team's starting to, not perform as much as he was talking shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rizzo has just been hanging on by a thread, and then all of a sudden he has this resurgence of his team, and that's gonna be big for Rizzo. That if he gets that win, you know, he's on the up and up, and he has the
They would
points.
it would put them both at 4-4 as well. Like that is
Exactly.
the
And
heat is
the
going to be
race will
four
be
and
hot.
fours, 3-5s, 5-3s. It's going to be everyone other than like three teams.
Yeah. And well, I had all these screens up for all these guys since we're diving right into it.
No, no, no. You had screens up for whom?
Well, everyone's matchups.
Oh,
So
do it.
I'm just getting to their matchup
Yeah,
because um Rizzo, I don't know, his team, Josh Jacobs and Alvin Kamara are finally coming on.
I
And
know.
it's actually kind of the year of the running backs right now.
Yeah,
As everyone can know that in the past, I've hated drafting running backs. I always draft wide receivers. I drafted Justin Jefferson #2 this year,
you lived by it. Yeah.
but I lost so much sleep thinking about that draft pick. Because do I take a running back? But I'm so glad I didn't because no one's really performing. Jonathan Taylor sure is not,
No. No.
Austin Eckler is, but
Right, but
um,
he's had some subpar weeks where I would say as running back in the last 2 or 3 years, 23 points on a week should be medium, medium high. And I think that was a high scoring running back in the first
mhm.
3 weeks of this season. So you're absolutely right. Like running backs are starting to creep back up, but the playing field, like Josh Jacobs, I think was the highest scoring running back this last week. Maybe Eckler and him were like a point apart or something, but we're talking about, was he taken in the first 3 rounds?
I don't know, probably third,
Somewhere
third,
around
maybe
there, three,
probably second
four.
or third. I mean, he was, I think, pretty good. He was on my radar.
Mm,
But like me, I don't like draft. I drafted DeAndre Swift, right? So this is
mm-hmm,
where I was getting at. I kind of took a play out of former champions playbook when they won it. They had strong running backs, and they always played running back in their flex. So I'm like, Raheem Morset is toss up, right?
mm-hmm.
Because splitting time with all those running backs in Miami, and then
Yep.
this Kenneth Walker I drafted late, and I was like, Seattle's top running backs always go down early, and it's going to be rise and shine time, and they're run first team. So I just lucked out right there. And then I'm so happy that I think it was Crawley dropped that Rahamit. I don't even know how to say his name. He's on my team. This the running back for
Mostert.
the Patriots.
Oh, yeah,
What
yeah,
is
yeah,
his
yeah,
name?
yeah. I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah,
Romador.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, he seems to be a good like flex worthy play.
Yeah, he's been finding my starting lineup. So this
Yeah.
week I'm probably gonna go with Kenny, my boy, and
Mm-hmm.
then Stevenson and Mostert with DeAndre Swift on the bench. So what goes to show you all the first round running backs besides yours? I mean, it's kind of just haven't been there yet.
Yeah, it is an odd landscape and just like looking at, so we're what, 7 weeks in so far, going into our eighth week. So we are actually, this is the halfway point through the fantasy landscape for the regular season, I believe, right? Yeah. Uh and so looking at uh what we've seen in the past, I think that the NFL itself is just starting to shake out what problems it's had and just starting to like have some levity of like finding what should work rather than a lot of times you have year in and year out that you just have teams that just do great. Like right now the Vikings are still shaking stuff out, but like Dalvin Cook is high middle of the road. Like they're not using him nearly as much as they used to. The Packers are a
Because
shamble
he
of the team that
sucks.
they were. He's great. You don't do that to him. But you're even looking at teams where, like right now, CMC just got traded to San
San
Francisco.
Francisco, yeah.
That changes two teams completely. Like
Yeah.
you're talking about, what was it? Jeff Wilson was going to be their starting running back, and now is just nothing,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
you have San Francisco, where, or sorry, that was San Francisco. You have uh, the Panthers, which are now have
Well,
probably two new starting running backs to the fantasy landscape that weren't anything a week ago. It's a total shakeup. It's very cool.
yeah.
A lot
Yeah.
more trades.
I hope there's a lot more trades going on. I
Mm-hmm.
do.
Yeah,
Um,
in our league and in the NFL.
I've heard that we've been shopping Alexander Madison around too. The Vikings have, which,
Why not before his
to be
contract
honest
up?
with you, it's like I'd rather see him as our starter than Dalvin because Dalvin's
Whoa.
worth some draft picks right now, and Madison, he hasn't really let us down since when Dalvin gets injured. He always steps up and always performs,
Yep.
and he should be a starting running back somewhere. He can be a starting running back
Right.
somewhere.
I think that's why they're shopping him around a little bit. Is I think that they could get like a second and a fifth for him. Like Delvin Cook, I think you could get a lot more for him. But Alexander Madison, if you're looking at even like, I mean, I don't want him to get put on like Carolina, but he would fit perfectly in there because now they have kind of a shit scape of running backs. There's a few other teams that could really use him, but yeah, I think that they're thinking about doing it just because he does have worth right now and they can get it for him. And then next year his contract's up. Or I think it's up after this year.
Dalvin?
Yeah. No, no, no.
Alexander.
Madison. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, it is.
Yeah. Uh so in looking at uh other, I know the matchups that I'm really excited for in this week, and I never thought that I would be saying this, but I think Dale is the number one team that I'm looking at because I think that there could be an upset. I don't want to put this on you, Cookie. I don't want to do that, but I think that there's a chance that
Well,
Dale's team wins two in a row.
yeah. I mean, we never hear the end of it. I
I
mean,
well, I think it would put me as the only 1-7 team.
oh, you
You'd
counting
be two
yourself
and
out
six.
already?
Oh, I have my number one player on bye, and Chris doesn't have anything, and he's just probably top quarter of teams, top three, top four. So yeah, I'm not like, if I could Pete Rose myself and like bet against the other team. Actually, Pete Rose always bet on his own team, but
Yeah.
if I could bet against my team this week, I would. I'm gonna take an L. I'll take it graciously. I'll send him a pizza or something. But I do not see myself coming through on that one. I mean, if you look up at the matchup, first of all, I
I
have
am. I
my
am right now.
yeah,
And
I have my best squad in there, and probably Alan Lazard doesn't even play. So that's going to be Kirk. And so I might flex and play two tight ends. Like
okay.
it's looking rough for
Yeah.
my squad. But I think that I'll bounce back after this week and end up with like three or
Play for the
four.
first overall next year.
No, I'm not losing again. I'm not saying that. I think I'll end up with 4 wins on the season. But This week
I like your
will not be
optimism.
one of them. Thank you very much. Uh, looking so I mean, really quick going through my matchup just to give Chris a shout out. I mean, Jalen Hurts, amazing. Jonathan Taylor, what a scrub this year for being the first overall. What the hell?
And trading for the first overall to
Yeah,
get Jonathan Taylor.
yeah. Saquon Barkley
Now
has
he scored big there. I was very upset because
yeah.
I usually don't mock draft. I did a couple, and Saquon was falling to where I was drafting. So I'm like, dude, I could probably get Saquon. He's a good running back, and he's been
What do you think?
good.
What do you think the chances are? And I think I may have asked this to someone in the past, but what do you think the chances are that Saquon Barkley is a top three pick next year?
I don't see it.
No,
I just don't see it.
I mean,
Um,
I see him being in the first round and being in the top half of the first round unless we see three wide receivers go again. Like if we see Cup looks like he'll go again, I don't see Justin Jefferson not going in the top six. Again,
yeah,
he's been great. Uh, but like it's been hard to see like any of the other wide receivers from this year right now going in the first round like they did this year.
that's true. Good point. I mean, yeah, I mean, you should keep asking your guests and see what they say because I'd be interested in to see. Right now,
Yeah.
top three, I don't know because
Yeah.
the top three this year was what? Jonathan Taylor, JJ, was it
Mhm.
CMC?
If not Cup,
Okay.
it
I
was
forget
it.
the draft.
Yeah, I mean, I was sixth, and
And didn't
Cup,
pick it.
yeah, and so those two were already gone. CMC was gone. Jonathan Taylor was gone. So
Yeah.
right there, that's five. And so I was the next one up. I believe, and I took.
Commissioner is rolling right now, just pissed that we don't remember the draft.
I know I could
This
pull it
was
up
like the
everywhere.
first year I really didn't do my recaps either, and I apologize, you guys. I don't know, wasn't
Yeah.
drunk enough. I think.
Well, you did a little one.
Yeah, a little, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it went Jonathan Taylor, JJ, Christian McCaffrey, Cup, Henry, Eckler, and
Yeah.
then of
Okay.
course we've
Henry
got Najee, which has been a bust, Elvin,
bust.
and then Dalvin, DeAndre, Joe Mixon, and Devontae. So I mean, you had a crop of running backs. So yeah, I can see him. I don't know. I see him in the top three. Probably not yet.
Probably not.
You still got Derrick Henry. I mean, there's people. I mean, half the reason I got Justin Jefferson is I'm a huge Vikings fan, so it'd be cool to cheer for him and dominate my fantasy.
Agreed.
Um,
Agreed. Agreed.
so I'm like, well, if I got a back end running back on my 10th pick, then I don't
Yeah.
pick for 2 rounds, but I'll be all right.
No.
But
Uh,
so far, I benched my running back, and he hasn't done anything. And everyone's been dogging me that I've been just the bust of the draft, and it's true. But he did have
well,
one good week.
it's hard to say any player that got hurt is a bust. Like
Well, that's true.
it's
But
it's different than like well, Jonathan Taylor what was hurt for one game and came back, but just has really I don't think he's even scored 20 points yet on a week. I'm looking right now. He scored 27 week one, and his other highs, he was hurt for 2 games. We'll call it three because the game that he got hurt in. But even like week two, week three, and week seven so far, his high is almost 16 points. Bruh. Not
you're right.
yeah. But the next one that I want to talk about,
Yeah.
we can go over Dale and so Frederick and Cookies, and I think that this one, like I said, is the one that I'll be looking at, and I think Brian Robinson is underrated. Lamb with Prescott is awesome. Thielen can always have a game. Pitts, why is he even starting right now? Uh, like his
Well,
right,
I see there. I
he's
mean,
not. You can't cut him, but at the same time, like you could pick up. I just picked up a guy off of waivers that I can start over Pitts, and yeah, I just don't see it. So that of course was Dale's side, and on Cookie's side, Rogers disappointing. ETN I think shows up this week because they just
got to
traded.
because you just traded James Robinson, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Um,
this is going to be a good one.
right. And so really the thing that could
Dale,
shoot me
don't
in
let
the
us
foot,
down.
the thing that could shoot me in the foot is Adams and Chase having a big week. Because if they have an average week like they have been, I think he stays right around the 100, 105 points, kind of like what they have him at. And I think that Dale comes out of the woodwork and scores well above where he's supposed to hit. And we'll see what it is. But yeah, I think two medium teams, mid teams playing each other. Of course, right now, Cookie looks a lot better than Dale does with 3 and 4 rather than 1 and 6. But I think that changed.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the other way. I think Cookie's gonna whoop him. Aaron Rodgers is pissed, and he's playing at Buffalo, and I'm hoping. I'm not saying I'm a Packer fan, but just for this game, I mean, this is gonna be a shootout. But oh, I just like Cookie's three big players, and that's about it. And I mean, Dale has to prove to me that he can win.
So, how many? I just looked it up. What do you think Aaron Rodgers' highest point total on the weekend or on for a week is? Just
14 points.
oh, you even went under that. It was almost 17. But we're
Oh, I was almost saying 18.
but I mean, like we're talking about he's played some bad teams, and he's only been able to put up almost 17 points. Like we're talking about Tampa Bay has not looked very good. Minnesota's defense is very bad. Luckily, they've been scoring a lot of points. New England, fine, but like the Jets, it's I just don't see them. The Bills are a really good defense. I don't see him putting up like maybe not even 10 points. And I think that's what shoots him in the foot is he gets lower than projected on a couple of these teams, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We shall see. Next one is Luke and you, good
Yeah.
sir. Why don't you
Yeah.
take it?
Um, Luke's it's tough for Luke. His boy Herbert is on a bye, which he probably
Mhm.
needs to rest to come back strong for your boy Keenan. But then he puts in Jameis Winston, and he doesn't. I don't even know if he's starting, right? I mean, who
Yeah.
knows? Um, I have a feeling Najee's gonna have a pretty good game because he's just been quiet all year. And James Robinson has a new opportunity.
Yep.
It's gonna be a tough matchup, but I mean, let's ride Bronco Country. Let's ride.
I like the idea that
Oh,
James Robinson takes over like that all spot and gets like 7 targets a game, maybe 5 receptions off of 7 targets, and that's a huge improvement for him. Like that could make him like a true RB2 and really pair well with Najee being like a baseline and him being able to put up some points. But yeah, I mean Brown has looked has looked really good. He's scoring double
yeah.
digit points on almost all of his weeks. The one that I think could put it over the edge for Luke, not win, but like help him get really really close, is Mark Andrews going off.
Yeah.
Like that's a time bomb. It's always like some weeks he's going to be 10 points, 15 points, and then
But he has
suddenly a
that
30
breakout
comes
game.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's already had 4 games over 20 points, one game threatening 30 points, and then last week he puts up half a point.
Yeah.
And so I
You
think,
guys like that.
yeah, I think for this week, especially them playing Tampa Bay, I think Tampa Bay is now just like a small puppy that's not doing a whole lot.
Yeah.
And I think that Baltimore is going to be playing a lot more run type, run out the clock. They're going to be ahead. They're going to not be throwing as much. I just don't see Tampa Bay putting up much of a fight. So that could make it so he is a little bit more sequestered in points. But if Tom Brady gets his, magic, what are they saying now? Giselle is a witch. And that's why Tom Brady always did so well. And now that she's pissed off, she's just taken all the magic away, and he just looks like he
All the
would at all
mojo.
times. All the
All the
mojo.
mojo.
Maybe he just looks like the 45-year-old that he is.
Well, the guy has to go back on Tinder. Wouldn't you be pissed?
I not if I was him.
Ain't
Yeah,
allowed
I
no, yeah,
mean,
that's true.
I
Everyone will
think
be
he would
after his
have a
luck.
small amount of luck in the dating scene. Uh, so your team, we already kind of went over it because you had
I'm not sure on my whole starting lineup yet, though. Because
okay.
I might entertain, since I have Russ in for a week, to get Jerry Judy up there and do that double come shot. Because Russ has something to prove in Jacksonville. It's warm in Jacksonville.
Yeah, and we
Or
have
actually,
not
fuck, it's in
used.
London, isn't it? So he has to go out there and shine because it's London.
Yeah, I heard on one of the podcasts that I listened to that he was like dogging his team because he was the only one using the long flight to work out on.
Yeah,
Like he was
4 hours out of the 8 hour flight he was working out on in the middle of the house. Everyone was trying to sleep. Imagine that. Trying to
I would
sleep.
kill him. Like I
Yeah.
would. Can you imagine? Like his
Let's
team
ride.
already hates him.
Let's ride.
Let's
You know,
ride. I also heard, and this is they've
man,
asked
shut up.
past team members of his, but he, if you like, let's say that you were a tight end and I was a guard for him, if we want to talk to him, we have to go through his agent.
What?
If you are a team member of Russell Wilson's and you are not face to face with him, you want to like call or text him, it has to go through his agent. That is verified by multiple different team members, not only that he has now, but we're on the Broncos. That is not a guy that's going to be very good. And we're now seeing that, like, him leaving the Seahawks and Gino, who is good but not great, getting plugged in. The team has, with really only that change, completely turned around.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's weird, but
It is. I thought he was so much better than he perceived to be. He was
I
just a
would.
good at marketing.
I guess that's right.
Yeah. More concerned about commercial money than actual playing
But
football.
yeah, I don't think he's hurting for money at all. But so who would you right now, looking at changing your roster, who are you thinking about plugging in that would be different than right now?
Dude, I mean, my team, I don't know. I don't know. I'm one of those predicaments where I don't know who to play every week. And I
Yeah.
just any, meeny, miny, mo, and I hope I'm right. But like Chris Olave is coming on strong. Devontae
Hmm.
Smith, he's been so money for me because he's the second option. You know, AJ Brown gets maybe double covered or whatever, and he'll just fly up the field and hit him on a go route. And
Yeah,
that's
I feel like the Phillies are doing the same thing with the mobile quarterback that works so well, where the second and third read dip off and end up getting open, and it's a
yeah,
backyard type play, and suddenly it Jalen Hurts throws to him for a 20-yard completion because
yeah,
everyone has to come down and block the run. And so yeah, I think that he's always a good person to have on the team just because he could be great. He could see a lot of those type of plays. I think he does better against or good defenses than bad defense.
yeah.
I think it's when they actually have like a hard fought battle is when he shows up a little bit more. But I mean 18, 30, 15 are all points that he's put up
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift is sitting on my bench too, and I don't know. I want to start him so bad, but it's
Yeah.
like these guys have been just putting up the numbers, and I can't like justify benching him and for a guy that maybe will do good. But
Man, what
and
a
then
good
Darren Waller's
problem to
been letting
have.
me down, so
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. It's I'm probably gonna do one of those Sunday morning tinkers, and it's probably gonna be at 7 o'clock in the morning, and then I'm gonna hate myself for doing it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
and then Luke
No,
gets the win.
I
And,
I
yeah,
feel that I feel that too. I was driving back from the wedding uh between like 11 and noon, and it became like 11:45, and I was just like, okay, Molly, open up my phone. We got to check all of my teams. And I just wanted you to make sure that no one, it says out or buy next to him. If it does, like let's swap somebody
yeah.
in. And so I didn't get to tinker at all uh, either. And, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but it always just hurts. Yeah. The next matchup is Crawley versus
Yeah,
Charlesworth.
this is gonna be a good one too.
This I think will be the highest points of the week between the two
Oh,
of them. I think this will
yeah.
be like 130 to 125. Like this might be the third most points loses to the first most points type of week. That's just a heartbreaker for one of the teams. Both of them with great records too, 5-2, 4-3, and really really good teams. I think personally, I think that if Dan Charlesworth had a better quarterback than Tom Brady, which is hard to say from years past, he's just like he's put up 20 points one time this season. If he had a better quarterback than that on this roster, I think he would be first overall. Like I think he would be top man.
Dan will tell you he has the best quarterback in the league. Yeah, I
Nah,
know. It's garbage.
it's garbage. He would have been right.
Bad
I
Dan.
mean, almost every other year, but this year, and maybe he just is. He's a finance guy. He always plays the long game.
Yeah.
Let
Analytic nerd.
everything. Yes, let everything compound. So maybe he just is believing that Brady will get out of the funk. He's a second half type of player, and that he'll come back out of it. But he also has, as you put it, the double come shot of Leonard Fournette and him. So if he throws a little screen past Big Lenny and they go out there and get that 20-yard touchdown, it's big points.
Yeah, and Josh has the double come shot option against the Vikings this week too. Probably pretty
Yeah,
good opportunity against that Viking secondary, but you never know. They surprise us once in a while. So, but
agreed.
Tyreek Hill's been playing so well, and Tua plays well. I just, man, if I was Crowley, I'd be shopping Kyler Murray or something or DeAndre, and maybe putting Tua in there. I don't
So
know.
in a vacuum, it meant like just you could really start whoever out of Kyler Murray and Tua. Who would you start if they were both on your team?
Just if I didn't have Tyreek Hill or DeAndre Hopkins,
No, no, no. Let's just say like you have his team. He also has
all right,
Tua. Wait, he does have two on his
I
team.
would play Tua this week. Well,
You'd play Tua
I don't
this
want to
week.
give it away because I don't want to like help him out or anything. But
Mm.
I'm just saying, look at the defenses, Crow. The worst defense
Yeah,
versus
that's a. I mean, both of them are pretty bad. I do think
he
that
won't though. He's
Murray.
chicken shit. He won't listen to me.
I do think that Hopkins coming back because this is week number 2, I believe, of Hopkins being off of his suspension. Yes, so this will be week
Yeah,
number 2. I think that Arizona is a different team when they have Hopkins, and they showed it last week. I mean, they
yeah.
absolutely
The highest scoring
killed.
player against me last week was DeAndre.
Yeah, rough. Um, I think that he has a really nice deep team. Tua could be a good person to put in. That would take some ball.
Yeah. Who you
Yeah.
got in this game?
For this one, I do have Dan.
Do you? All right.
I want to say Josh. Like, there's nothing here that
I'm
says that.
taking Crowley.
Yeah, I mean,
King Henry against Houston defense.
yeah, I, it could be great. I mean, Hill should have a great game. Hopkins should have a great game. Henry should have a great game. If St. Brown plays, he could have a great game. For some reason, I just see those three big running backs that Dan has outperforming on this week.
Sure.
And Montgomery has showed up a lot more. And right now they're calling it like the hot hand approach in Chicago. And I think it's lit a fire under his ass to be like, it's not my job. If I suck, it's not my job. And right now, I think it'll show up this week. I think Big Lenny, can't have two bad games in a row, and he had a stinker this last
Yeah,
week.
he did.
Yeah, and so I think that this is, like I said, I think this is going to be a title fight. I think it's going to be absolutely just, it's going to be
It's a
so
big
much
game. It's a
a
big
big
game
one.
for seeding purposes in the playoffs. I mean, or who's on
Agreed.
the cusp. Because if Rizzo wins, look at that. He goes 4-4, and Crowley loses. He goes to 4-4, and
Yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah,
I
you're
remember
not
Crowley
wrong.
in the draft. He was saying, "No way, Derrick Henry's going to fall to me." I'm like, I think Derrick Henry's going to fall to you. He's like, "No way, no way."
Yeah.
And he still walks around with a boner. I mean, the guy just he's just loving that he got it.
Oh
All
my
right.
God.
What was the last one here? Scuds and Rob. Is that the last one?
Have we gone over Rizzo and John?
Oh no, we
So I think
probably
we have
I
two
start
more
no. Okay, two more.
because we haven't done Robin, Nick, or Rizzo and John.
Okay. All right.
And
You're the host, man.
I'll start with Rizzo and John. Rizzo, you sack of shit. You beat me last week on the back of Josh Jacobs, who put up more points than he might the rest of the season. Uh, I'll take that. I will eat my words. I take that back. I'm looking at it right now. He scored 36 points this last week. The week before, 30 points. The week before that, 34 points. It is now a trend that he's putting up more than
It's
30
contract year
points.
for him.
Jesus.
He's on his
He's
last
looking to
year as
get
a
paid.
rookie.
Yeah.
Well, it ain't
Uh,
gonna be the Raiders. They gotta pay Devontae and Derek Carr.
Jesus. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, that would be, if they can't afford him, that would be a great landing spot for Alexander Madison.
Damn.
I'm just
Damn.
saying, if they have to get rid of him, Alexander Madison plugging in there would be
Be cheaper than him, yeah.
much cheaper. Expect they could probably get him on basically the same contract that he's on right now, to start there. Just kind of a $10 million a year kind of thing for 3 years.
Yeah.
$30 million for 3 years, he would probably take it.
I'm
But
listening. I gotta get more ice. Hold on.
oh, me too.
You know, I was trying to
All
think.
right.
I was trying to think about the last time. I just want to break myself up for a little bit here because
Do it, please.
it's my turn on this podcast, right?
Yes, sir.
Can't remember the last time I was in first place of this league.
I I
And I don't want
will
to
give
jinx
you
it.
absolute kudos for that because that is, I've done it many times for short stints, and there is no, like, you walk around like you're on clouds. It is the best feeling on earth. No
Yeah.
one can get you down, and you, sir, deserve every little bit of it.
Well, the year that Dan won it, he beat me, and I thought that was my year. I
Yeah,
thought I had the team, everything was falling in line, no one was hurt. Always a bridesmaid, right, Timmy?
always a bridesmaid. Always a bridesmaid indeed. Uh, we should take, now that we have our ice, we have our whiskey, we should take a small, short pause for our commercial break. And I believe our sponsor this year is alcohol memorabilia
Yeah.
and the men who use it. So here's to Kettle One, to Coors Light, to all of it. And
Coors Light,
all of
baby.
us, I look around this room and I have 10 Surly posters. I have
Yeah.
a whole like back thing, and not only do we buy their product that they mark up, we buy the things that we can't even eat or consume just so that we can be like, oh, Coors Light, just like you. You even got Wheaties. What's the Wheaties box?
It's the 87 Twins
Oh,
World Series.
beautiful.
Yeah. It was in my grandma's house and when she passed away. I saw it. I'm like, yep, I'm taking that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So that
I
is
hung I cut that out myself from a 30 rack from Costco,
beautiful.
put a piece of tape on it and hung it up just for this podcast.
Oh, it's great. It's framed
Yeah.
perfectly.
People that know me, Coors Light.
Is that your light beer of choice?
It is my trash beer of
Mm,
choice. Yeah.
I wouldn't call it
Everyone says
trash.
it's everyone calls it trash, but you know what? Busch Light, Bud Light, Miller Light, Coors Light. It's
Yeah.
all the same.
Oh,
Or Coors Light,
shout
baby.
out to Bush Light. I went to a it was I went to a bachelor party like 2 weekends ago, and somebody brought the Bush Light apple. Have you ever had that?
Yeah.
It's ridiculously good.
Yeah. It's
It
dangerous.
is so dangerous. We were playing drinking games with it, and I was uh, very impressed with. I thought that it was going to be shitty, and like it was in flip cups, and I like literally put it to my mouth, started drinking, and I was just like, oh, what is it? And they're just like, Tim, you have to flip the cup. And I was just like, oh, I forgot. It was that like it's very good for, as you put it, shitty beer,
Yeah. Trash beer.
trash
Trash
beer. Thank you, thank you.
beer. Trash beer.
So your trash beer. We are on to John and
Rizzo.
Jason Rosinski. What is your thoughts on these two? I think this is the
Um,
closest matchup that ESPN has for them only being 2 points
two
apart
points.
from each
Yeah.
other.
2 points exactly
Mm-hmm.
right now. Um, I don't know. Like I was saying kind of earlier, Rizzo's on a charge and John's kind of his 11 benevolent elephants. God, I love saying that every time too. Thanks,
Every
John.
time. 11
Um,
benevolent elf.
he started strong and then his team's
Mm-hmm.
kind of teetering right now. Lamar is kind of choking in a way right now. He's got to play for his contract. He's got to start stepping up his game.
Yeah,
The
agreed.
Steelers wide receivers, I mean, the offense is just in shambles, so I just feel bad for that. But Jalen Waddle, he's been kind of quiet, so I think if all of his players come back to form and come back when he was scoring a bunch of points a week, he can win this game. Rizzo, on the other hand, started very slow, and all of a sudden, I mean, I have to play him again. I beat him like 160 to 81 or whatever week one. And I'm
It's
like,
not
that
going to
was the
look like
easiest
that
game of
again.
my
Yeah,
life, right? I don't want to play him again. I have to.
I
And
know.
I mean, I'm scared to play him because Daniel Jones, I mean, he's doing really good this year. He's surprising me a lot. And I was kind of upset with Brizzo. Didn't really play this Brandon Ayuk too much. And
Mm-hmm.
he's sitting on his bench, and I'm like, every time I watch the 49ers, Ayuk is having a game. And I'm like, oh, I wonder if Rizzo started him this week. Nope, still sitting on his bench. But I get it with Debo Samuel. I mean, it's tough to play two of the same players, especially in the same position on the same team. But
Yeah, and for the most part, it wasn't until 2 weeks ago, week 6, that Ayuk had his first big game. We're talking about more than 13 points. And so it's tough to put that in a position that's more than a flex. And he has a lot of really good players out
Yeah, he does. So right now, if I had to pick a winner here, I'm just gonna say Rizzo just because this team's hot and
there.
I don't know if it was him doing the podcast or what, but it's kind of turned around.
Maybe
John,
that's
I'm
it.
still rooting for your precious little elephants. Don't worry, because I just love that team name. But how funny would it
11
be if he finished
bananas.
last and he had to do like a punishment and
How
he had
about if you
tattooed on his
just,
ass or something,
oh
you know?
yeah, the little elephant chain, he's got to get 11 of them in a row.
Yeah.
Just, yeah. How
Or
about
win the championship and he can get a tattoo of it on his ass. Either way.
if you win, you've never won a purple jacket.
Never.
If you won, would you get a tattoo?
I'm gonna get a tattoo of the purple jacket on my whole entire body.
Oh my God.
No,
Just
I'm
an
just kidding.
outline that doesn't look like anything until you kind of zoom out and then you see it's a jacket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe I'll take Rizzo's AI um uh
Yeah.
avatar and maybe get that tattooed somewhere.
Hell
I mean,
yeah.
mine looks terrible, but I love it. That I mean, it's just cool. I mean, I don't
Uh,
know. You guys were going through it. I'm like, I have no idea what mine is. Like
yeah.
gritty on
What,
your mom's titties. I
yeah.
would have him doing the gritty on a set of titties or
I
something. That'd be
mean,
cool.
I personally think that you should just give that to a tattoo artist, not tell them what it is. Just tell them, I need a tattoo of a person who looks like me grittying on a older woman's breasts and have them just be
Give
like,
her a
play with
heart
it.
tattoo on her tit.
Do you have any tattoos now?
I've won.
You do?
Yes, but I want more. But
What do you have as a tattoo right now? I did not know that you had a tattoo.
my left shoulder, I have the coordinates to Kauai, Hawaii, and then our wedding date. Brooke and I both got it on our honeymoon in Kauai.
That's super cool. I did
Yeah,
not know that. That's very,
yeah,
very cool and very meaningful.
yeah. I'll show it to you sometime.
Yeah, only if you're completely
Okay. The
naked.
mangina.
Right. Okay. Rob and Nick is our last matchup of this week. Uh,
Uh-huh.
again, like close matchup. I think two very close teams. Record reflects it. 4-3, 5-2. Uh, for this one, I think the biggest question mark for me on the entirety of all of the players is this will be Christian McCaffrey's first game, really, for San Francisco. Like he
Yeah.
was on the team last week, but this will be the first time for him starting uh, in red and gold. And I think that it could be really, really good. And I think it could be really, really average. If it's really, really good, I think Nick has a really good shot at winning as long as Pittman shows up. But the rest of his squad is fine. Elliott against
Well, Joe
Chicago.
Burrow got him 40 last week, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, Joe Burrow, I think they're finally taking like I think that they had scripted too many plays in a row and just said, "Hey Joe, we need to do this many on like just to mix in it needs to be on the ground. We need to try to do this." And finally, like 2 games ago, they just said, "You need to like we need to just unleash you." And when they do, when they let him throw 55 times a game, they
Yeah.
win and they just kill. So
It's a Monday night game.
could
A
be,
lot of these guys, players, a couple of them on each team are playing Monday and Sunday, so
yeah.
it'd be kind of cool to see the late push for the victory here.
That is always fun to see. Like you're gonna see more on Thursday from Rob, but it's only let's see, Tyler Boyd and Joe Burrow, I believe, for Sunday. But that could be really good and really devastating at the same time. Because like if Rob's ahead and Nick needs to catch up, and Joe Burrow goes off, but he goes off to Tyler Boyd, could be devastating.
Could be.
Yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
both of them would be sweet.
I think uh, personally, I think Rob has one of the best teams out there. I think he has lost a few close matches that have put him under, but now that Kittle is showing up, Diggs is always great. Allen is amazing. Nick Chubb might be the number one running back for the year of just straight. You get exactly what you think you're going to get.
15,
Uh,
20 points a game.
yeah, right. Exactly. Uh, and Boyd is good. Bills are a great defense.
And then he took my boy.
Justin Tucker. He's the
Yeah, he has
best.
been doing too well for him this year. You know, it's just a vibe thing, and
Yeah.
he ruined the mojo between me and him. So
There
payback's a bitch, Rob.
you go.
But his
Uh,
bench is terrible.
really bad. Well, Patterson being hurt.
Yeah, Drake
Yeah.
London is pretty good.
Uh,
Robbie Anderson, I don't know, man. He's
we'll
just
see.
character. I don't
We'll
know.
see because he's on a new
He hasn't
team.
been a great wide receiver
No,
ever. He's had maybe a couple good games,
that's
but
true.
you know,
He's
whatever.
a good player. It seems like he probably is not liked by the team and hurt a lot in your utility. Uh, but yeah, I think both of these like the bench for the other team, other than one really good game for Hartman, I guess, which was this last week. He if he has anyone get hurt, Nick has anyone that really gets hurt, he's gonna have a tough time finding someone to go in.
Yeah, and that's what I'd be scared of.
Yeah,
That's what happened to me last year. Had just good enough players to start. Then we started having the buys, and
that's what
well,
gets you into trouble. And next week's gonna be a really, really rough one. So, but that one, who did you pick in this one?
between Rob and
And
Scuds,
Nick. Yeah.
I think Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, if they have a big game, because Green Bay secondary can be pretty good and their
Mm-hmm,
defense can be good.
mm-hmm.
Um, but I just don't. I just see him blowing him away and having a big game, and that's what wins it for him this week. Are those two?
Yeah, I agree, but kind of in a different way, where I think that Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs will probably go off, have a really, really good first half, and then I feel like Green Bay is not going to be able to do a whole lot against them, and they're going to do a lot of just ground and pound the rest of
Yeah,
the game. And
sure.
I feel like they'll have 15, 16 points in the first half, and then end with both under 20, right? And
That's a good prediction.
right, I think the only I think with that being said, Rob still pulls it off. Nick narrowly doesn't make it because Pittman doesn't quite have the game. If you did not hear, Indy changed their quarterback. It's no longer Matt
I
Ryan.
did. Yeah,
Yeah.
Sam Ellinger,
He
baby,
yeah. And so
Texas
I
boy.
think that will take a little bit of time. So Pittman doesn't do overly well. I think Ezekiel has a good game. I think Burrow has a good game. McCaffrey, I think, has 20 points, and I think that gets him within 5 points of winning. But it's within 5 points of winning. It's not winning.
This is gonna be a great. I'm gonna call this one this week the moving week
Yeah.
because we have a lot of these teams. I mean, we have one, two, three, four teams 5-2, one,
Mm-hmm.
two, three teams 4-3, and two teams 3-4.
Yeah.
And then Luke and then you and Dale, you all still have chances of making it.
No, but I think a lot of the teams that we've said that are going to win are 4-3 teams,
Yeah.
which I think we're going to have a lot of people. I think we're going to have a lot of people at 5-3.
Yeah, and then we need Luke to beat me, and then I mean
Uh,
it's gonna be good. And
it's
remember
a
last year
great,
I had
great
8
week.
wins, and I missed the playoffs because I needed Cookie to lose one game in the last 3 weeks, and I would have made playoffs.
You missed the playoffs with
8-6
8 wins.
record, yeah,
Whoa.
yeah. But Cookie got in, not me. So I
Mm.
mean, hey.
I have a surprise for you.
And I got the second pick overall.
I have a surprise for you. I have in my hands my mid-season power ranking.
Really?
I do. And I want you to give me just a little bit of color when I tell you the teams.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
My number one overall, Rob Murray.
Oh, the finish the season, or your power rankings just
My
as a
power,
team.
as in the team
Okay.
that I think is the best right now,
Is Rob
not
Murray.
is Rob Murray. I think it's the, as I put it, they are the person that I would like to play the least.
Okay.
Rob Murray.
I mean, yeah, he has a great team. He can be very dangerous. I mean, it's just if they show up, he's a dangerous team. You know.
Yeah. I put just a little note next to it that I thought it was fitting that he has the Josh Allen and the Stephon Diggs because I put him as kind of the Buffalo Bills of right now of the teams
Yeah.
because it's like, have they lost? I believe so. Eagles right now, people could say are probably better, but if you had to bet on the Eagles or the Buffalo Bills, who would you bet
The Bills,
on? Yeah,
100%.
me too. And
Yeah,
so, yeah,
that's a
that's
good
what I said.
justification for number one. I mean, I'm not arguing it. I'm
Yeah.
just, yeah, that's solid number one.
Number two is you, good sir.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I think it should be number one,
I
but
think you're full of shit. I think you are
well,
number one right now.
well, record wise, but that can always change.
Yep, yep,
Yeah.
yep.
I'm just
So give
having fun
yourself a
this
little bit
year.
of color.
This draft, I don't know. I really kind of tried and I really didn't. I'm just here to have fun. What I want is to me to win one jacket and then I can finish last every single year and sing national anthems, wear dresses, get tattoos. I don't care. As long as I have that one, right? So that's why
Let's
I
get
get
the one.
so anal about like, oh, fucking fantasy pisses me off, So this year I'm just like, all right, dude, whatever. Like, we're gonna be friends forever. We're gonna probably be doing this forever.
Mhm.
So eventually I gotta win one, right?
Yeah.
And just mathematically. So
I do think the one thing it's I will say it was a hard decision between you and Dan. And the
yeah.
reason why I gave I think that you will not have Russell Wilson in that QB position for long.
No,
Uh
1 week. Patty
1 week.
Mahomes comes back.
That's right. That's
You're
right.
welcome, Luke.
Yes. And so with Mahomes in this team and how it's performing specifically, and Amari Cooper, I think is on the up. I think that
Top 15 wide receiver.
yeah, he's great. He's great. I think
I didn't
that
even
you
know
have
that. I just looked it up the other day and I was like, no way.
I think
But
that
yeah,
you have a stellar team, which I've already foreshadowed who our number three is.
Dan.
So give Dan a little bit of color.
Mr. Bjork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. I fucking love that.
I thought they took
Uh,
her name. I don't know.
oh, yeah, I can see it. I can see it. She wears some beautiful pants.
Yeah.
Cup, of course, is great. I think that it will be hard for you to convince me that he does not have the best trio of running backs out of anyone
Yeah, besides myself, of course.
besides yourself.
I'm just kidding. Absolutely. One Leonard Fournette was going so high in the draft, and I was just like laughing hysterically because I was like, this fat ass comes to training camp overweight every
Yeah,
time.
every time.
There's no way. There's no way. And then every year he comes out and just dominates. And it was
Mhm.
ever since he got drafted, but he's matured. He's a good running back.
I think he is what he needs to be. He's a good pair of hands that
Yeah.
can basically fall forward, and he knows how to score a touchdown. Period. Like him and
Yeah.
Tom Brady know how to score touchdowns, and sometimes You do not need to be the most athletic guy to do that. You just need to know. Marshawn Lynch is a great is a great person to think of when I'm thinking of people just who just know how to score. He just trucked people. Like, did you ever see Marshawn Lynch really juke someone? No, he ran them over. And then the next
Boom.
time, yeah, the
Then
next
grab his
time that
balls.
it came to like him running towards that person's direction, they were on their heels because they knew that that shit hurt so bad. Okay, so who do you think, if you had to guess, who do I have next?
At at number 4, Chris
At
Strife.
number four. At number four, I have Chris Strife.
Yeah, it's good. I'm sure he's gonna be pissed that he's only at number 4.
I
Clearly, he
think
has the
it's
best
fair.
team.
I mean, he's at 5'2",
Chris,
which is
I
great.
think Chris, I personally think you have the best team in the league right now.
So would
Um,
you put him at number one with Sutton and Jonathan Taylor on that team?
not with Sutton, but yeah, take Sutton out and put someone else in. Yeah, I think he does. The reason is because this team that he has is basically the one I have in this Alaska league I'm in with Brooke. I have
Right
Jalen
on.
Hurts, Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley. I mean, I have AJ Dillon. I have all these guys, but um, like I said, this
Personally,
year's the year of the running backs are coming back
yep.
this year,
I
and
think Terry McLaurin is also a player that is
he's just
uh,
up and
starting to
down.
heat up.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's yep, exactly.
but it's also because they switch quarterbacks.
Yeah, Ginger Wentz is out of there.
Yep. And now you have a guy that's just throwing to him. It's just, I think there was a ball. I was watching a little bit of red zone, and I saw him catch a ball where they had thrown it in the
Yeah,
middle of three guys. It was
yeah.
three guys and him, and it was just like, hey, you're the most athletic person on the field. Go and get it. And guess what? It was like 25 yards, maybe 30 yards, came down with it. I'm like, I think it was like the 2 or 3 yard line. It was great, and it was just it was good to
After that
see
catch,
them
you saw a
trust him.
different wide receiver, in my opinion.
Bingo. It just trust. When those guys know that you trust them, they're gonna go above and beyond. Ertz is great. Michael Carter is also a person that just went from not having any relevance to not having Hall on the team anymore either.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
My next one. Do you want to guess again?
Scudamore.
Ooh, Josh Crowley.
Josh Crowley.
I
That
do
was
have
my next
Josh
guy.
Crowley against. He's one spot above Scudamore. So you were one spot off, but I have
Yeah.
Josh Crowley, and then I have Scudamore. Yeah, they are neck and neck. I think a lot like you and Dan were, just in this middle. And these are the last two that I have in power rankings that would make them in the playoffs. And so that is the cutoff for me, is Crawley and Scuds. They are very, very close. We've talked about their teams already, but it really is a middle tier of boom bust and whether or not they're going to be able to keep up. And
Yeah.
so I think they're great. For Josh, Kyler Murray is a make it or break it kind of guy, but for him, Tyreek Hill, Hopkins, St. Brown, those three might be the best trio of wide receivers. I mean, I think Hill is the number one wide receiver on
Oh, I'm
the
sure he
year,
is.
but
Yeah.
Hopkins and St. Brown, if they're healthy, lights out great. And so Derrick Henry, great. I think Rex Burkhead is the worst running back I've ever seen. Uh, I think I do own a Rex Burkhead jersey.
I like his forehead though.
Oh my God. He is.
Same haircut.
There you go. The forehead's the whole head.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And he does have a little bit of depth to be able to play with as well.
Mike
Uh,
Evans.
yeah, I mean, Evans and Wilson as like a flexor if someone goes down. He has Huntley and Dallas, who, I mean, I don't want to put anything on Walker, but If Walker goes down, Dallas is the next up. And I think once Burkhead is gone and his boy on bye, uh, Edwards Hilaire, Edwards Hilaire has picked it up a lot for Kansas City and won that role and will be good. So he is right there at my 5 spot. And then Scudamore at the 6 spot is, of course, McCaffrey is one of the reasons alone, but Joe Burrow going up, Ezekiel Elliott going up. It's a great team.
Yeah.
So that
Those are your
was
6 teams for playoffs.
that's my top 6 for power rankings, which I think means my
All right.
6 teams for playoffs, which I do not know if you saw, but I am not a part
No, you're not.
of.
Who do
I
you
am
think
not.
has the best chance that are not in your playoff teams right now? Who do you
That
think
is a
has the
great
best
question.
chance of making the playoffs?
From my power ranking, I'll
Yeah.
put it as one of 2 teams. Can you guess who 7 and 8 are?
7. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be John and Cookie.
Mm, John Rizzo is who I
Okay,
have.
Rizzo. Okay,
Yeah,
I
I
was gonna
actually,
say Rizzo, but I thought you were going a different way.
but
I
those
have
are
Rizzo
my
there too.
three. My 3 next ones in my order are Rizzo, John, Cookie.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Yeah, Rizzo
Uh,
in life.
yep. So it goes. I'll give you the last 6 right now. Uh, Rizzo, John, Cookie, and then there's only 3 more teams. I gave myself a lot of grace and put
Okay,
myself at 10.
okay,
I could
that's okay.
easily be 12. I am
Your
10 for this
podcast. You
list.
can do whatever you want.
That's right. And then Luke, and then on the very bottom, I do have Dale. I do,
um, can
honest
I
to
say
God,
one
think
thing real quick?
yes, 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 yes.
This is probably the first time it's ever happened on your podcast. But speaking of Dale,
Mm-hmm.
this guy just made a trade proposal to me.
You gonna take it? Are you
He
gonna take it
wants,
on the podcast?
all right, okay. So he
What is
wants,
the trade?
all right, he wants Dalton Schultz and
Mm-hmm.
Devontae Smith from
Okay.
me,
Mm-hmm.
and I would receive James Conner and Kyle Pitts.
Mm. What do you think?
Uh, give kudos to Josh. That's a very
That
fair
is a
trade.
pretty good trade. Uh, on like if this was last year, it's a no-brainer. It's amazing how far Connor and Pitts have fallen. That is not like that. That's even in the realm of the other 2 players.
Yeah, I
Which
get it. I don't
could
know.
also mean could also mean if they have a good second half of the fantasy season, like there's no reason why Connor can't be good, and there's no
Yeah, but I
reason
have
why Pitts
three,
can't be good.
4 running backs right now, right?
Mm, okay,
This is
okay,
what
okay.
I'm.
I I
I think it's
want you
fair,
I
but I
want you
don't.
to send a counter back. Send a
Okay.
counter. What's the counter gonna be?
Um,
Because what do you need on your team?
Nothing.
Oh, boo, boo hiss. Number one. Oh, I'm number one.
No,
Uh,
I'm just joking. What I really want to do is just get a running back 1 or a wide receiver 1 in my
mhm.
running wide receiver 2 slot. And Dale,
I mean, you do have. I mean, Amari Cooper's the top 15. It's hard not to say that basically a one. And so now you're looking at what's in your flex, which I would say, God,
CD
you do
Lamb.
have fucking.
Yeah, I know.
Who's
But I don't
his?
know. I might just have to sit on this and wait a little bit, huh?
Mm, 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 mm.
Or do you do a James Conner, CD Lamb for Devontae Smith and Darren Waller?
That's not. That's not bad. You would be without a tight end, but you just put Dawson Knox in, right? Why
Well,
not
yeah,
do a 2-for-1 where you send 2 and get 1 back? I mean,
you
I think
could.
you're strong enough to do that. Send Waller and send Devontae Smith and get 1 guy back.
He's yeah, I could. I could play Dalton Schultz this week though, but I don't know. I'm gonna stew on it. I declined
Yeah.
it, but
Okay.
Josh,
I think
I'll counter you.
personally, I think that Knox is better. I can't believe your team is this freaking stout, and you have 3 tight ends rostered right now.
I know. I don't know. I'm
Jesus.
gonna blow it somehow.
You have it's that
Always
deep.
do.
It's that deep. It's that good. And you have Russell Wilson and 2 extra tight ends on there. I would kill for that. But yeah, the second half, running through it really quick. Let's go to
Yeah.
Rizzo. So my Rizzo and John are the 2 teams that I could see creeping up into it if something happens, especially if it's
Lamar has a hell. Lamar, if Lamar from here on out does amazing. Like if he puts up points every week, John is going to be a very strong contender, and maybe slide into 5-6 spot, and then
yes.
upset the 2 or 3 or the 3 or 4 seed, and maybe give us a scare. I
I
mean,
think
I've seen it happen with a Cookie. His team came on
yeah.
strong at the end of the year.
Yep. I think Daniel Jones is for real in the
Yeah,
Giants lineup. Uh, just like you were saying, Kamara, Jacobs, both
Debo.
always amazing. Hill is kind of a cheat code at tight end. I think he's caught 2 passes all year, but scored like 5 touchdowns. And he has an okay bench.
Yeah,
Like that is a solid team.
yep.
For John, which by the way, these 2 are playing each other.
I know it's
Yeah,
going to be a
that's
big,
awesome.
big week for these guys.
Yeah.
That's why this matchup is great.
It is great. Uh, he just up and down great as well. Sanders is starting to come back. Mixon has been great. Waddle needs to show up a little bit more, but like Kelsey isn't in his lineup right now due to a bye, and he
Yeah, he's
still
got to
has a
get
great team.
Gasecki the fuck out of there. He can't do the gritty. He just ruins it.
Yeah, up and down, a great team. I think so. I started the year with Mooney, and I think that Mooney might be for real now. I think that he might come back if Chicago starts to play well. But we'll see. And then Cookie and myself, you know, it is what it is. Where Cookie, I think, has a good team, and started off losing basically. There's
Well,
no
like
real
we
other
were
way to
saying,
put it.
as long as he doesn't finish last,
Mm-hmm.
and he doesn't want to go from first to last, he's gonna put up a fight.
Yeah. ETN should be, I mean, like his major thing that he ran into was Adams and Chase for his first 2 picks
Well,
and
yeah, when you're on the end
boom
of the
bust.
snake, right?
Yep.
End of the snake, you see these 2 guys sitting there. That's why I
Mm-hmm.
don't like picking there,
I
you
would have
know.
done it too. I would have done
Oh,
it too,
yeah,
but they
absolutely
just have
100
not
times.
been, they have not been the like together, those
I
2
almost
picks.
picked I almost picked Devontae Adams at 10 instead of DeAndre Swift, but I'm like, nope, I need a running back. And that's
Whoa. When you say 10, did you have 2 picks in the first
yeah, I
round?
traded Rob Murray.
Jeez.
That's how I got 10th overall. I traded my second and third for
Yeah.
first and fourth.
Forgot about that.
And now
Um,
he's riding the pine on my team.
yeah, that's amazing. But like if you're gonna pick 2 running or wide receivers in the first, basically the first and second round, those 2 people together on a weekly basis need to get you 50 points, right?
They did last week,
25
didn't they?
apiece.
I mean,
Uh,
Jamar went off.
yeah, I mean they do sometimes. Right now, Jamar Chase has gone off the last 2 weeks, but before that, he had basically only scored 12 points.
Yeah.
And right now you're looking at Adams averaging more like 18. So like close to, but you need Adams to be averaging 25 and Chase to be averaging 30 to have those worth it. And then he
Sure.
shows up. But yeah, that's why he's eighth, ninth, I'm sorry. Luke, no, then it's me. And we don't have to talk about my dog shit team. Uh, Geno Smith, Benjamin, Lazard's probably not even going to play. It's a rough week. We're not going to talk about me. Luke uh, is 2-5, and I think we've already talked about it, but I think he is also a person that could surprise with Jameis Winston coming back, if he's for real, if James Robinson does great, if Andrews keeps up what he's doing, he could blow it out of the water and
Yep.
almost make the playoffs if he really hits it hard.
I hope he finds a worthy quarterback.
I think he may have. I mean, Jameis Winston,
He might not
uh,
play though.
he may not. And so if he doesn't, I'm sure that, he could trade for Tua. He could pick somebody up off the waivers.
Come get Will Russell, baby.
There
Let's
you go.
ride.
There you go. Yeah. Oh man, I don't know if just like Jameis not playing might still be better than Russell.
Should I just pick up a quarterback right now just to spite him?
Yeah, just drop one of
And
your
then
tight
trade him with
ends.
Frederick for CD Lamb or something.
Oh yeah. Oh, there you go. And then last but not least, we
Yeah,
have the man,
the
the
myth.
myth, the legend, Dale's Bargain Bin Sale in a vacuum. So, like, if I were
He
to
comes
tell
up
you
with
that
great names too, by the way.
he does, if this was the team that you had last year, and I told you that you had Dak Prescott, Cook, Brian Robinson, I don't think was anything last year really.
He was a
But
rookie. He's a rookie this year. He was at
oh, there
Alabama.
you go.
Yeah.
Lamb, Thielen, Pitts,
Yeah.
Hunter Renfro,
James
James
Conner.
Conner.
I mean, Smith Schuster was even good. And then he went to Kansas City. You think he'd be freaking amazing.
Agreed.
I see where he's coming from. Like, it would be great. And he does have a good team. They just, yeah, you're
Yeah,
always going to have one team a year that you think is going to be amazing and they tank. And unfortunately, it's Dale.
yeah.
He
I
has a jacket, so he can shut the fuck up.
that is true. Talking to two Tims about jackets. Out of the three Tims, one of us has one.
Hey, 1/3. If one Tim wins, we all win.
That's right. I'll take that. I just want to sniff the jacket. It's on his wall still, I'm sure. Um, but oh, you know what? When is the next Tim Bowl? Let
Oh,
me look at I know I had it scheduled. Okay. So because you and Cookie played each other. We
yeah.
have not played each other. And I have not played Cookie, right? I think that's right. Yeah. Off. Okay, so week 7 is okay, we're on to week 8, which none of us play each other. Week 9 is so it's not this week, but next week I play Cookie. So that's
Okay.
the second leg of it.
You know,
And
I think
then
we've played each other, haven't we? Have you and Cookie
exactly.
played each other?
No, we will in 2 weeks.
Okay.
And we have not played each other. And
Okay.
so we will play each other. I'm looking it up right now. 46ers, the Frederick. No, nope. Wait.
Did that kick your ass?
Oh, you had to have if we played each other.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yep. I'm sorry. Week 4.
Week 4.
Uh,
Okay.
week 4, I beat you, good sir. Week
Okay.
4, I got my first win
Oh
against
yeah,
you.
that's right.
Oh
You're
my
welcome.
gosh. So, did you
And then I beat Cookie the week before that.
right? So right now we each have one win. No,
Well, you
Cookie
have a
is
win. I
winless
have a
between
win
us. Yes, but I play Cookie
this week.
in 2 weeks,
Okay.
which means that that's the third leg of it. So we could each have one win, and then we got to figure out some other way of us figuring out who's the best.
All
That's
right.
fun.
So I sent a proposal to Frederick.
Go on.
So I said, I'll give you Devontae Smith and Darren Waller for CD Lamb and Kyle Pitts.
Okay. Okay. I yeah, I think it's not as fair as the first one that was sent over, but I
No,
think
it's
it's still
definitely
good.
not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You use it more than I do.
Yeah. So now that we've gone through my horseshit
Yeah.
power rankings, uh, who
Awesome.
and we're literally on the trading floor right now. This is usually the next thing that comes up is trading floor. Uh, who are
And Racial
you?
Awareness Month next week.
Oh my gosh, I forgot to post it. I was driving and there was a bridge above me that said, "Oh, let me look up the picture really quick because it's freaking hilarious." And I will put it right here when I edit this. But it says, "Remember in November, remember in November .mn.com is what this said." And the first thing that I thought of was trade
Racial Awareness Month.
waivers. It was great. Obviously, you need no one to trade for. Really, you're only trying to trade up from players that are already good.
Yeah.
I know anyone can send me a trade because I need freaking everybody right now.
Same.
What was that?
I said I'm surprised you have not sent a trade yet or
Oh, dude,
gotten a trade.
I think at Dan's wedding, I sent 10 trades.
Did you? No one
Yeah,
was drunk enough, huh?
no, I tried so hard. It's not November yet, so it would still be there's no Me Too if it's not November. Um, and so yeah, I think the next thing, unless you have anything else to bring up,
No?
is the weekly side bet. And so you have three different things that you can choose from.
Okay.
You can roll, which is one of 10 things. You can do call your shot, which no one has done yet, which is you can choose the parameters of it, but you choose a player, or you could do team, or you could do whatever, but you get to call your shot, and it can either be like the best positional player. So you say, I think the best wide receiver will be X, or I think the best player overall will be X, or I think the best team this week will be X. But you can do any of those, or the weekly pickums, the confidence pick sheets is the number three thing that you can do.
Not number three.
Oh, boo.
I know. I kind of like that too, but I'm not going to be the first one either. So we're going to roll the dice.
Okay, okay. I have it right here. I keep it with all of my other games. It is a 10-sided dice. We'll get it out real quick. And I will put up, where are we now? Where is the 10-sided? There we are.
So
Okay.
when you say call your own shot, you
Mhm.
mean like I pick a person?
So everyone that was playing, you make the rules, and then everyone gets to pick a player. So let's say that you said, call your shot at who is going to be the best tight end of the week, or call
Okay.
your shot who's going to be the best receiver of the week, or call your shot which team, like actual NFL team, will score the most points this week. So
I
really,
got
like you get to make the parameter of the bet, and then everyone can bet within your parameters.
okay.
Does that make
I like
sense?
rolling the dice still.
You
Well,
got it. Okay,
I
I
just
have
want
my
to
10-sided dice. I am going to make sure that I have, yeah, this one up. Okay, rolling, rolling, and it is an 8. I don't believe lowest total between starting and bench.
lowest total.
Lowest total. I've been
Dale,
allowing
you have a
people.
shot.
I've been allowing. I've been allowing people to do two things. Uh, Augment what it is just a little bit within still having the same band of it, or just re-roll altogether.
Yeah, let's do the whole highest scoring bench,
Love
right?
it. I
And
mean,
team.
bench and team,
Yeah, so like
beautiful.
everyone can throw $5 in this week because it doesn't matter who you start, it's your entire lineup.
It's the entire
That'll be
lineup.
fun. I
I
think
mean,
that's fun.
right now I have a really good shot at it with my two main guys on, and so it's gonna be a rough one. But it is one of
I
those
didn't think
great
about that.
bets. It's one of those great bets because if I perform better than I think I'm going to, or if I just have a dog shit bench, but my starters are really really good this week, which they won't be. There's a shot that I win or somebody else wins. It's I mean, there were a
Well,
lot of teams that
well,
scored
fuck it.
only.
Let's do lowest then. I don't care.
Yeah, it is lower, but you could
Okay.
do lowest starters only if you want
No,
to.
no. Let's just keep
Starters
it how
and
it
bench.
is. Number 8. Yep. Starters and bench. Low score, right?
Beautiful, beautiful. We
All
can
right.
do that.
All right.
And with that, do you have a sign off for anyone?
What's
Everyone?
that?
Do you have a sign off?
I don't. I didn't prepare anything.
Oh, that's okay.
I just want to say, catching up at the wedding with everyone was a lot of fun. And it's really cool to see where we started, like in high school with this shit and how it's grown and how we keep stats. And we have our own little nerd podcast, which I talk about all the time. I'm like, yeah, our fantasy group has the best group, man. We do fantasy podcasts and we have tens of views on YouTube. And I'm like, we want to turn that to hundreds, maybe thousands, and like
No, no,
get
no,
other
no,
people to do that, with
no.
their their fantasy groups. And
Yeah.
I think, we have a great commissioner and a great previous commissioner. I mean,
Mhm.
I know I've always wanted to run this league, but
I would vote for you to if now I'm not
I
saying
don't.
that
Chris has
Chris
done
should
such a
ever not.
great job,
I
and
I think that Chris
I
should do
couldn't
it
deal with that
forever
shit.
and ever,
Yeah,
but he does an amazing job. I think that you
I'm
would be
saying
kind
what I
enough
was
to
saying is
start
that,
a
like,
keeper league.
well,
You would implement that, of course. That's
no,
why I would
that'd
vote
be
for
it'd be a vote to never bring it up
you.
again. No, all I'm saying is that he does a great job
He
and
does.
like communication and all that. So, I mean, was I jealous? Yeah, of course. But he loves it. He's doing a great job. I don't want to do it anymore. Like, I never. Like, he does a great job. Anyway, so um a lot of people have moved away from Rochester,
Mhm,
some very far away, Luke.
mhm.
But it was great to watch your guys' podcast, and it's great to kind of catch up. And what we were entertaining at Dan's wedding was, the round table. And I think a big fucking Zoom call and like on like a Saturday or Sunday night when everyone's kind of in the tank again.
I
And
couldn't agree more.
we had so many
I
good
think that we
stories.
should do it the same way that right now we do happy hours, which
Yeah.
is Sunday at 3 o'clock is our happy hour for this week as well. Uh,
Yeah.
but
I'll try to make that one. I
you can
promise.
or cannot. You can.
I'll try to. Yeah.
Rock on. I'm pretty sure that I can as well. I think I might have something going on at that time, but I will at least log on my phone wherever I am and say hi to people at like 3:15. But I know Luke had a little bit of technical difficulties last week. He will be coming this week. He got it all figured out. So if you want to talk to Luke, if you want to catch
Oh,
up, have a 15-20 minutes with him as well, get on. And so it's a great
yeah,
way
absolutely.
to catch up and see all of our friends that, just like you said, are close and not close. It's really wonderful. I've liked it a lot. I missed
Yeah.
one, and I know that I regretted it
Well, hey Luke, they probably don't have Wi-Fi on the beach, so you probably should
right after.
stay somewhere relatively close.
Oh, that's right. Well, with that, I will
I'm
say,
very appreciative of this league and you, Bergart. This is the greatest, coolest thing.
thank you. Thank you. I enjoy it. I know I missed doing it last week, but man, I was so busy.
Yeah,
And
I get it.
so yeah, I appreciate you going over 2 weeks with me, and I think that you killed it. And so I'm going to stop recording, but thank you to everyone, and we will see you
Thanks,
next week.
guys.